Narcissistic leaders are threatened by talent. They want to be the smartest person in the room. Humble leaders are drawn to talent. They want to be surrounded by people that make them smarter.
Hey, welcome to The Forge. Here at Forney Fence, we're all about investing in the team and making us better as a team, as an individual, and as a culture. It's about growing, learning, and getting better and forging long-term relationships. Today, we're sitting down with the owner, the founder of Forney Fence, Rex. Man, I am so grateful for your leadership in my life and to this entire company, both on a personal level, professional level, and even on a spiritual level. So thank you so much for being part of The Forge today.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm very excited about being here.
So this is some, we kind of talked about how do we invest in the team and how do we live out the vision of Forney Fence and how do we impact others. And so between you and Ralph, just continue to talk about what is the vision, how do we live this out. This is kind of the next step, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We're very excited about it. We think that it's one of the critical parts to our growth, and Ralph's done a great job. He doesn't do much. No, I'm just kidding. I like to throw a jab at my brother every time I get, but he's an instrumental part of our growth and how we are growing, and I'm very thankful for him.
So Forney Fence has grown so fast over the last really just 3 years even, and looking at going from 2 locations to 3 to 4 to 5, and now with so many more employees, over 100 employees now. Tell us a little bit about where Forney Fence started.
Well, we, like most businesses, you just kind of stumble into it as a kid, not knowing what's going on. So I had sold a utility company, and I guess I was probably about 30 years old when I started Forney Fence, and I actually still work for the utility company. And so I met some guys that were in the import business, and they were importing ornamental iron, and they wanted me to start selling ornamental iron here in the States. And I was like, yeah, I'll do it. I just sold a company that didn't have much else to do, so I thought I'd give it a whirl, and crashed and burned a lot of times, but here we are 21 years later, but that's how it started. Just some guys offering me the opportunity to import some ornamental iron 21 years ago.
21 years. So Tell us some of the highs and lows through that struggle.
Oh, man, dude, I jumped into a new business, didn't know anything about it, and had got a lot of bad advice along the way. We were importing panels that were the wrong picket size. And it was like, people were like, nothing fit. What are you doing? And it's like, oh man, we just made a lot of mistakes along the way. And then just getting people to change is obviously hard. But the biggest thing is that you just keep grinding. You just find the hurdle and figure out a way to get over it.
Yeah. So when you look at these 21 years, we sat down a couple years ago, recreated the vision statement of what is the goal of Forney Fence. And we talked about forging long-term relationships that impact the personal, professional, and spiritual lives of all we encounter. That's the vision statement, right?
Yeah.
Why is that vision important to you?
Man, it's important to me because really we're just here for a little while, right? And what we do here on this earth is temporary. And I want Forney Fence to have a kingdom impact. I really do. And I want it to have a kingdom impact on our customers. I want it to have a kingdom impact on our employees. I want it to have a kingdom impact, just like our mission statement says, everyone that we encounter. And we can't do that without creating a vision and saying, hey, man, this is what life's about. It's not about a struggle. It doesn't always have to be a struggle. Life's tough, right?
Yeah.
On its own.
Sure.
But
everybody's experiencing that, right? Whether it's in your family or in finances or just in the world in general, that life's just tough.
Yeah, it's tough and you shouldn't come to work and it be a struggle also, right? Yeah. It should be a source of energy for you. And if you're in the right place where the God gave you your gifts to operate, and that's what we want to try to do is just put people where God gave them the gifts to operate.
I think that's been one of the most amazing things to see is helping people get in the right place, where their strengths are, where they have the gifting and ability through DISC assessments and all these kind of things, that when people work within their strengths, they're so much better. They're actually happier.
Yeah.
But when they're having to do things that they're not good at or they don't even like doing, man, it just becomes more of a grind.
Yeah, we've had people that have excelled in positions, and then when we move them into another one and they stumble and fall on their face and like, "Man, what happened?" Well, we took him out of what he was good at.
Yeah.
We did that, not him. It's not on him. So we had to accept responsibility. That's one of the black eyes that you face, every now and then.
Yeah, so that's thinking about that. That's actually how me and you actually got connected. I had invited you to a mastermind, and that I was teaching this 6-week leadership class with some other business owners, and invited you to it. And I don't know if you remember this, but I invited you. You said, "Yeah, I'm all in, want to be a part of it." And then you ghosted me for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I was going, what happened? So it, if
But I
Rex,
showed up to every one.
but if Rex ever ghosts you, there's probably a reason for it. You weren't actually ghosting me. You said you'd been in
Elk
the
hunting.
mountains elk hunting for 2 weeks.
Yeah. I
And
was
then-
getting away, man.
And then send me a text saying, "Hey, when does this thing start?" And I said, "It's in the morning." And you said, "Okay, I'll be there."
Yeah.
And we went through this process, and I thought, man, you're running this business. You're doing great. There's some other business owners in there that were really successful people. And I thought this is a great group. But then at different times, I thought, I don't know if Rex even likes being here because I didn't know you at the time. And so I think we've talked about this, that your different personality comes across different to different people.
Yeah,
Right?
it does. I got that I personality, you know what I mean? I'm real goal driven, and sometimes I can plow over people, and I'm really excited about something and they have no idea.
That's right. Yeah.
So your class was awesome for me. It was a time in really Forney Fences. It was a turning point for Forney Fence. We'd had some leaders in the company that weren't doing what they were supposed to be doing, and I didn't know it at the time. I thought we were kind of on cruise control a little bit, and then I found out shortly after that I had some things I needed to straighten out. And that was kind of where you and I built our relationship, and it's been good.
Yeah, it's been amazing. And that really started because of putting someone in a bad position. It was someone that was great on your team, and then you put them in the wrong position. They don't know how to do that job. They ended up really failing in that job in a lot of ways,
Yeah,
and became this crossroads for the entire company.
yeah,
And coming together and begin working, hey, what do you want? What does this look like? You had to get back in the grind.
yeah. It's God's perfect timing. It really is everything. And I got back into the grind, and then I had a bike wreck. I don't know, a lot of people don't know this, but I had a bike wreck back in 2009, and it's recalled I have a disease because of it, because of a head injury. It's called vestibular migraines. So yeah, I had to get back into the grind, and being at that computer every day for a solid year and a half, long hours, and it really started irritating my symptoms of my vestibular issue that I have. And man, God gives you a way of saying, you know what, He creates a path for someone else, and He wants you to go down a different path, and He has different ways of doing it. And I truly believe that it was God's way of saying, hey, this is where it's going to go in the future, and this is what I want you to do. And then He provided the people to do it. So that was
Yeah, just knowing that, okay, this bike wreck, some company struggles going on, having to get back in the grind, which creates some different physical and health issues for you. That everybody wants to go, oh, it must be nice, right?
Yeah.
And they see your success and going, it must be nice, but you're going, you don't know the grind, you don't know the long hours, you don't know the health issues that come along with that and the stress that you carry. And I know that you are visionary and that you're thinking forward, but carrying the weight of not just the company, you carry the weight of all the people that are employees and are part of the family of Forney Fence.
Yeah, absolutely. We don't have a lot of turnover. We have very little turnover. You have to try hard for us to get rid of you. You know what I mean? Because we want to change people's lives. And if we see something in somebody that we want to change, we truly make an effort to give them an opportunity to become the person and the employee that we want them to be.
Yeah, and I think we've seen that. We've seen people move up in the ranks and continue to grow and continue to take their next step.
Absolutely.
And then
Yeah.
people have to exit because you're not doing what we need you to do. That has to be this mutual relationship, right? We want to
Yeah.
invest in you, but you have to invest in us as well. So when you think about some key moves over the years, what were some of the big moves that you had to make, whether it was with people or with strategies, that really got Forney Fence to where it is today?
Well, like I said, the health issue, I was doing the purchasing at that time and kind of being the COO. I hired a banker, Noe Garza,
Yeah.
which I knew he was not a purchasing manager or purchasing agent. but I knew that he had the capabilities to be something that I need him to be in the future. And I needed him to be a CFO in the future. But right now I needed a purchasing guy.
Yeah. You need to
And
be,
he knew zero about fence, zero, nothing. We went in there and grinded it out. And I also knew that he was great with IT and he needed people and we needed to change our software. He was a perfect fit for us at that time. He really was. And he still is. He's been good for us, switching over to NetSuite and changing our software. And he's been good at doing the stuff that I don't like to do. You know what I mean?
I think that's
I
important.
do not have that personality to
It's
sit
not
and
just that
grind
you don't
numbers.
like, but it's not your gift. It's not your strength. It's not how
No.
God's wired you to think and to be able to lead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's been good in that role.
I remember when you first were sitting in your office and I think I found a guy that I want to bring in and I'm going to interview him and talk to him about this position and for him to do purchasing and really finances and what this looks like. And I said, okay, so what's different about him? And you just talked about his character.
Yeah.
He said, this is a man that I believe in. I believe in what is. I see his faith. I see his character and who he is as a man. And that's the kind of people I want to partner with.
Yeah.
And I think that creates the culture that we're trying to build in the Forge, right?
Right.
That
Yeah.
we're trying to build something and forge something and strengthen it together and weld it together that's stronger. And that's with the right people.
Yeah.
So one of the things me and you talked about was just the importance of leadership. And one of the things that you think is so important for leadership is humility.
Yeah.
And you wanted to share some of those things. So help me understand, why is humility key for you personally and professionally and how you lead Forney Fence?
Well, it's biblically based, really, to be honest with you. I don't know the verse right off the top of my head, but it's God opposes the proud
Yeah.
and he favors the humble. So I always want God on my side. And humility, if God favors me, then I know that humility is going to be a big part of it, right? So, man, it's just being a humble servant at the end of the day. That's what we want to be. That's who we are. That's who I am. You have to take charge at times when you're in a position, but other times, there's times when you just need to humble yourself and teach somebody something. And Jesus did that a lot.
Absolutely.
He did it a lot. He humbled himself to teach people things and to teach them who they needed to be before he left. And
Yeah,
that's what we want to be.
That's Philippians 2, that he was fully God, but he humbled himself to take the form of a servant.
Yeah. And that's part of my head injury. I cannot tell you a Bible verse, but I can tell you what it says.
And we talked about that over and over, right? And
I'll
they're going,
stumble
"And
through
Scripture
it,
says
but I'll
this,
get
and
you there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know you had some things that you wanted to share about humility, and you even brought you some notes. Tell me some of those things that you think is key when we talk about on the Forge, when we talk about every level of leadership, having a certain level and aspect of humility in how they lead.
Well, with success comes arrogance, and and it happens over time. It happens slowly and it happens over time, and companies become arrogant. They're on top and they think, oh, we're doing good and no one's doing as good as us and all that. And man, right after humility is a word that's very closely related to that, and it's humiliation.
Wow, that's good.
So man, I just always want us to give acknowledgement to where our source of success comes from, and just knowing that at any day it could all go away, right?
Yeah.
And we have to grind and we have to be humble, and it's all about our people.
Yeah.
And if we ever start taking credit for that, if I start taking credit for that, then the people underneath me, they don't get the acknowledgement that they need, and then they're not happy. And I want them to know that everybody who's done something within this company, they are a part of it. If you're a forklift driver, or if you're a salesman, or you're a store manager, or whatever you are, I know that it takes every single one of us to do it. And I don't want arrogance to ever be a part of who we are in our culture, whether it's a competitor, right? Like,
Sure.
I don't want that. So that's how it plays a part in what I'm trying to do and what we're trying to do.
Yeah, I think it's good. Looking back, there have been times that different people had to exit the company. They couldn't be a part of it. And for me, thinking back through some of those conversations, there was a level of pride and arrogance in them that they thought they were not just bigger than their position, they were bigger than the whole family. They were bigger than the company.
Well, they were entitled.
That's right.
And yeah, it's just not who we are. And every great football player has a time to exit.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And some leave humbly and on top, and some leave losing 10 seasons, and then they're finally gone and nobody remembers their name, right? And some leave on top. And it's just one of those things where we just have to leave on top when it's time.
That's good. I love that. So what are you most excited about for Foreign Defense? We're halfway through 2026, having the best year ever on so many different levels with team and culture, and each branch is really winning at new levels. And as a whole, we're winning. But what are you most excited about for the days ahead?
Well, man, I think a lot of people with my personality are really good at action, getting things done. But we never put things into words, right? So people don't really know how we feel. They see our actions and they know that we care about them. There's not an employee that works at Foreign Defense that if you ask, hey, when this person was sick, how did Foreign Defense care for them? Whether it was cancer or temporary or just sickness within the family. And Foreign Defense has always cared for those people, and people see it, right? But they need to hear it, not just see it. It's one thing to hear it and then not do it. That's terrible. Actions are better than words.
Sure.
But actions and words are the mix that we need, right? And that's what Forge is going to do for us. It's going to allow us to wear our hearts on the sleeves a little more and not just plow through. And if you need something, we'll take care of it type deal. But we want to put it out there to where our leaders are talking and our employees and customers and everybody knows how we feel about the way that we approach life and the way that we approach business. And it's a square deal, right?
Yeah.
You're always going to get a good deal with us, right?
I think it's good. I know you won't tell these stories, but I want to tell a few stories real quick. Number one, I know there's been people who had cancer, and at Foreign Defense, y'all provide for them financially over and over again within the family in ways that no other company would do. I've worked as a business coach. I've worked with so many different companies. Worked with another company that they had someone that was out for 6 weeks for some medical reasons. And the day they came back, they let them go.
Yeah.
And you're going, that's not who we are.
No.
That's not how we're going to be. Not just within the company, but I know you've helped people outside of the company, whether it's vendors or people that buy from us or people that work with us outside, to be able to support and help people. That's so much beyond just business.
Yeah. It's a greater mission. It's a greater mission.
And I think it's something we've talked to our branch managers about, going, we want you to be impacting the community. We want you to be investing in your team, but it's bigger than just making the next sale.
Yeah, for sure. It's important, right?
Absolutely.
We got to pay the bills.
We got to pay the bills. Yeah. I'm not saying we're not just making, we have to, if a company doesn't make money, they don't stay in business. So no one has a job.
Right.
So we have to be able to make money, but we're not just trying to sell fence panels.
No.
We're trying to impact people's lives.
In our mission statement, we're talking about having an impact on the personal lives and on their professional lives and on their spiritual lives. And it's the same way that I put importance on family, right? It's God, family, work, right? Well, the spiritual is the most important part, right?
Absolutely.
And then we have the personal part, and then we have the professional part. Well, the professional part is to me, it's very important because it's what keeps us afloat. But at the end of the day, it's third on the list.
Yeah.
And the other two are more important.
Well, and if you invest in the spiritual and you invest in the person, the business is going to take care of itself.
Yeah. My mom pumped Zig Ziglar in our radio. The cassette. She wore cassettes out.
Yeah.
And when I was a kid, and one of the things that he said is if you can just help enough other people get what they want out of life, you can get everything you want out of life.
That's right.
And it's like, man, that statement makes perfect sense. Whether I have an employee or I'm trying to help him get everything that he needs, he's going to give me everything that I need. So if I have a customer and I'm trying to meet all of his needs, he's going to help me get where I need to be as a business. And I'll never forget that statement. I can pretty much quote you anything that he said because my mom blared it, but
Good job, Mom.
right,
Yeah.
she is a rock for sure. Yeah.
So we're just starting the Forge. Me and Ralph sat down last week. Me and you're sitting down today. Next week, we're sitting down with Elizabeth, who's operations manager at the Forney location. We're going to continue to have conversations on a both individual level and a professional level and spiritual level with different team members throughout this process. But as the owner, as the one who's the CEO driving the ship forward, what's something that you want every single person at Forney Fence to hear from you?
Man, I just wanted them to hear from me that the door's always open. Like, we truly do care. And we want to make an impact, help you make an impact in this world. We want to help you find your gifts. That's the most important thing to me, is helping people find their gifts and putting people where they thrive, to where life's not a struggle for them.
I love it.
And if they will do the things that they need to do for us, we will do everything in our power to get them where they need to be in life. Making money is really the easy part of life. People don't realize how rich we are in this country, but making money is really the easiest thing that you do in life. If you work hard, you will make money. What you do with it and how you honor God with it and what you do with the rest of your life is twice as important. So man, how do we help people figure out how it is that the joy that we have, Yeah. And I want them to see joy in its purest form, where you're not worried about the next vehicle, you're not worried about the next car, you're not worried about the next vacation. All of that stuff leaves you empty. Otherwise, you would have a lot of extremely happy people in Hollywood, right?
That's right.
But they don't exist, right?
Because they never fill the void.
You can't fill the void.
Yeah.
You can't fill the void. So, man, we just want to help them understand what true joy is, and just keep grinding.
Love it. Hey, here's what I want to tell you. If you're watching this, and when Rex is talking about the spiritual impact on people's lives, maybe you're wondering about what's your next step personally or professionally, or what do you need to do spiritually? I would tell you, you need to reach out. You can reach out to leadership, talk to your manager, talk to someone, reach out to Rex, reach out to myself. We want to be in this journey with you to help you on the personal, professional, and spiritual life.
Absolutely.
And that you continue to take that next step forward. If you're feeling like, man, there's something I need to do right now, I would tell you, take that next step. Reach out, send a message to someone today and say, I need to have that conversation. Hey, thank you so much for being part of the Forge today. We're going to continue to move forward and impact your life and bring you the very best of life, leadership, business in order for you to be at your best. We'll see you next week.